Hey everybody, Josh here. This is where I say there's the Patreon page. So if you like this show, which I know you do because you're listening, and you love my guest, which I know you do because they're awesome, every single episode. This week, doubly awesome, and we got tons of stuff to talk about as everybody gets cozy over there. But check out that Patreon page, InterBrews.com/Patreon or Patreon.com/InterBrews. You can help support the show for as little as $1 an episode. Or you can set it at a max limit for the month. So if you wanted to do, I don't know, $1 a month, that would be a thing too. We'll adjust y'all's headphone levels. Can't hear anything? I got to turn you up. I'll tweak you there, Chad, here in a second. I'll twiddle your knobs here in a second, and it'll all be good. Anyway, so check out that Patreon page if you want to help support InterBrews and keep Juicy Craft Beer Podcast in Houston rolling along for another, I don't know, close to a decade now. Let's just do the show.
The following is a presentation of Stewed Productions.
You introduce yourself.
Oh, wow. Hey, it's Chad Pilbeam from What's on Tap Radio, Beer Logic Conferences, Events, the also chief bottle washer next to the man, the myth, the legend, the beer guru.
Otherwise known as the other guy, beer guru James Simpson.
What's on Tap Radio?
And this is InterBrews.
This is InterBrews.
All right, Chad, let me tweak your knobs. Tell me when it sounds nice and juicy. Is this you? I think this is you here. How about now?
I can't
More?
hear. Wait, I thought I heard something there.
How about that?
Yeah, I can hear something now.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Low? Still low? You need more?
You can give me a little more juice.
How about that?
A little more.
How about now?
Now, that's perfect.
Okay. James,
Yeah.
how are you feeling
I
over
feel
there?
great.
Okay. All right. Let's jump into this first official show of the year. My beer's way over here. Excuse me.
Yeah, I know. Hey, listen, it's set up for comfort.
Yeah.
This thing's built for comfort and longevity. It's not really built for speed. And you just came in like the Flash and set up your mobile studio. Meanwhile, I put a beer in your hand.
Yeah.
Okay, so it all worked out. Why are you drinking out of the? Oh, by the way, yeah. See what I have here?
Uh-huh.
This is one of those things that it's like an artifact. It's called a beer bottle. And remember when they used to put beer in bottles?
I remember that.
Yeah, that was the thing. Yeah. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing here. Samuel Smith's Winter Welcome. That's the last one I have because spring is like tomorrow.
I know.
And you're drinking out of the can. Why?
I felt appropriate.
I gave you a beer clean glass.
Yes. But I figured this first one would be good from the can. An instant classic.
It is an instant classic. Eighth Wonder Brewery, craft beer for the home team. And I'm kind of wondering why I washed that glass.
I'll use it.
I'll use it, he said.
Next one. I'll use it on the next one.
I love that. That's what they all say. I'll use it next time.
All right, James Simpson. Lots to talk about today. You came in with a look on your face of you're forlorn.
Yeah, me being a big Astros fan,
Wait a minute.
today was a sad day.
All right.
It's supposed to
For
be a show
Houston
about beer.
Astros fan. Well,
It's Houston.
this will drive you to drink.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I see the connection.
What do you
It's a
drink?
stretch.
James drinking an Art Car IPA.
Always a go-to, the Art Car from St. Arnold Brewing Company.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
We're going to be getting
I
into some
appreciate
beer.
it, Chad. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, we're going to be getting into some beer.
Yeah, we
Apparently, we have to get into some beer after finding out just what the Sam heck happened in Houston with this, what is it, stickball?
No, I mean, it kind of started yesterday
Okay.
with the fall of the Texans. But
I'm glad we didn't. We were talking about recording the show during the game yesterday. That would have been a really spirited beginning, and probably the worst show. We would have been so drunk.
Started on a high, and then by the end of the show, just like, you know what? It's not even the fourth quarter's not even done yet. Let's just wrap it up.
Wheels on the bus go falling off.
That was
falling off.
I think in a few years we'll look back fondly on having the worst meltdown in the history of the playoffs.
Yeah, just ask the Oilers how that plays out too.
We supplanted that one. We supplanted that Buffalo Oilers.
Love you, Blue.
Yeah.
James, what happened in the world of baseball,
Yeah, what happened to
please?
the Astros?
Let's get the suspense over with, please.
Well, the punishment has come down on the Houston Astros on
Stealing signs?
using technology apparently to steal signs. And this is crazy, man. But according to the sources, according to the talking heads on the old radio and television, they said this is the appropriate punishment. Whether you agree, well, that's to be determined. But president of the Astros, Jeff Luhnow, suspended for 1 year.
Okay.
Astros main skipper, A.J. Hinch, suspended for 1 year, all without pay, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Houston Astros organization will be fined $5 million. And Astros will forfeit first and second round selections in the 2020 and 2021 first-year player drafts.
Wow.
So that, my friends, is the Astros punishment for using technology to steal signs. And,
Meanwhile, every player in their farm league saying, hey, polish up the old shoes, the old cleats. There's a chance we might get a call. We might be moving up.
Well,
Clean out some room on that roster.
yeah, that hurts.
they
Oh, sorry. That's not funny.
Hey, but the art car's nice.
it is nice.
It's a nice transition. That was a very smooth transition, James.
Well, you know.
Well, have they said anything about the Red Sox?
No, this is just the
Astros.
Yeah,
I think
Astros being
everybody's
the center of the controversy.
Yeah,
No,
well.
what's interesting about that though is now maybe would you say what's that guy's A.J. Hinch or
A.J. Hinch,
Yeah,
yes.
that guy and the president guy.
Jeff Luhnow.
Yeah, you can tell I'm a huge fan. Those two guys, they can go hang out with Sean Payton and the New England Patriots and say, "Hey, when you guys got caught, hey, what'd you do for that year?" And maybe learn. It's just like, hey, they could start a club.
Yeah. It's funny that they'll probably just be using more technology now just to relay what they want to be done. I mean, it's not like, do you really go unpaid for a year? They just up your pay
And how do
later?
they-
Because it's under contract, right?
How do they keep eye on whether or not Luhnow or Hinch aren't being a part of the Astros? I mean, they can just make a unicorn1223@gmail.com and then,
That one's taken. But
oh, okay. Well, and just, hey, guys, this is what...
Josh's kids
I
are
would
getting
do
their
if-
own email accounts now.
no, I'm not giving them that one. That's been mine for years. I love that email.
All right.
That's my first one.
All right. Well, James is all bummed out. Good news. There's beer in the glass.
Yeah, thanks for the art car. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's in a snazzy glass too. By the way, that was beer cleaned for all of my guests who were here. By the way, you didn't tell them where you were broadcasting or where you were recording.
We're at Chad's, the Beer Logic World Headquarters and drinking Emporium.
Nailed it. Yeah. Also known as my garage.
The cushy couch.
Yes.
And the cushy love seat next to Charlie.
Chad has never thrown a beer bottle away in his entire life.
You have a lot of tap handles.
Not as many as I'd like. That's one of those things that you ask for Christmas, and then you're lucky if you get one, and then you got to wait a whole another year to get another one.
What is your favorite tap handle that you have up there?
Oh man!
And I know this is great for the podcast audience.
Yeah, I know.
You can't see
Yeah,
it,
for
but,
those of you
he's
listening,
got a plethora, maybe about a dozen tap handles on the wall.
Actually, there is a very rare Belgian ale tap handle up there. It's from the old Pierre Celis days, and it is the old Pierre Celis Groton tap handle. And if I remember correctly, that beer specifically was, oh gosh, what is? I think it was a grisette. And so which is a rustic version of basically a saison. I mean, more or less. I don't know. We're playing with styles. In fact, what brewers are doing now, they're messing with styles so much. I don't even know if there are any rules.
No, they're all fuzzy at best.
Yeah, they are. They're just guidelines. In fact, they're not even guidelines anymore. They're suggestions. I mean, you can until of course you put it in at GABF.
Well, I was going to say it's how Jim Cook comes out with his own version of it.
Yep.
And the next thing you know, there's a new style.
There it is.
Beer judge certification.
Okay, I guess I'm not following. What you're saying that when Jim Cook puts out a style, that becomes the style guideline?
Jim Cook, Boston Beer Company, has a little bit of a stroke in the industry, as in he swings a big stick. When he does something that changes the industry tends to shift.
Yeah, the Brewer Association tends to change the rules a little bit whenever Jim Cook surpasses the level of production barrels per year.
Yeah.
Good for you, Jim Cook.
It's going to be interesting. And in fact, I made the prediction that the Brewers Association is going to yet again redefine what a craft brewer is, because they just lost longtime member and probably their second largest member,
New Belgium.
New Belgium. Yeah.
But they got back Ballast Point. For a discount.
Hey, you remember that shiny yacht that rolled out of here about 4 years ago? It came back as a rusty anchor, but hey, here it is.
I'm going to polish that bad boy right up.
I'm sorry, that's not very funny.
More people
Somebody
get
lost their job over that.
More people got tattoos of anchors than they do of yachts. I don't know what that means, but
Wow.
just saying.
Just don't even know where to go with that.
I'm just saying. People like anchors.
But that's a good question. Is the Ballast Point allowed to be back into the craft beer industry or craft beer community?
I think that
the welcome wagons open for them. Like, hey guys, come back in.
I don't think there's a rule against it. Nobody's ever come back though.
Yeah, I mean, if you get a divorce, it's not like all the single people say, no, you're not part of the singles club. You were married before. Now, of course, you're part of the X club, but you're still single.
Yeah.
So they're part of the X and
Right.
the single club.
Right.
So, yeah. Or rather, the Craft Brewers Association's definition of a craft brewery. So I say, bring them back.
Sure.
Yeah, why not? And, hey, congratulations to the silent wine investors who decided to, sell a horse and go ahead and buy a brewery or whatever they do out there in wine country. I don't know. These people, we don't even know their names or what they really do. We just know that they have a huge vested interest in the wine industry, and they're partners with this tiny little... James, you even remember the name of the brewery?
No.
It's in Chicago.
Chicago, right?
Yeah.
That's the
It's
only
like
thing I really remember about
anchor.
'em.
Well, it didn't have the word anchor. Like a something in steam or
I don't remember off the top of my head, but
bullet and barrel.
Where's your producer? Kimberly!
good for you, Chicago.
Put somebody to... we need somebody to do some research for us here.
Yeah.
But
It wasn't Goose Island, I know that.
No, it was no. But we found it funny because the brewery was so small; they only made 600 barrels. And if you're listening, you have no concept of what that is. I mean, I know some home brewers. No, I'm just kidding. That's a stretch. But
I don't know.
600, yeah, 600 barrels is really nothing. It's 1,200 kegs, and that's just not a lot of beer.
Yeah. It's a homebrew club.
Right? Yes. There you go. CIA. Cane Island Nailers. We can give a shout out to those guys. But that club probably makes as much beer as this little brewery does. Now all of a sudden they inherit a brewery that went from 400,000 barrels down to 200,000 barrels. And so now this new brewery, which only made 600 barrels, now makes 200,600 barrels of beer. So a little bit of a jump. In fact, probably the fastest growing brewery in the history of ever.
Yeah.
Okay. Because nobody's going to grow more than from 600 barrels to 200,600 barrels ever again. I'm predicting that. That's a 10-year prediction, too.
I tried to look it up, but apparently there's some kind of block in this little dome we're in that we can't get on online.
When the podcast starts, time stops.
Apparently.
And
I was gonna Google it.
we're locked. We're
But
locked in.
apparently, he's got some kind of contraband or something going on here.
Yeah.
Shut up.
He's got foil wrapped around the whole house.
No, I don't. Trust me. You can see my...
He's like, no one uses the internet in this house but me. Keep your Wi-Fi in your own car.
I don't want anybody listening.
Yeah, it's your own data. But good for them. But
It'll be tough for me to. I mean, I buy mostly local anyway.
yeah.
But it'll be tough for me to say, oh yeah, I'll get a Sculpin now.
But
I'm just kind of like out of it.
would you pay $12 for a 6-pack of Sculpin or $7.99 for a 6-pack of St. Arnold Art Car?
No, art car all day.
Absolutely. So
Kings and Convicts Brewery.
that's
That's it.
what I said.
I knew there was a thing in there.
There was that little and sign in there.
Yeah,
that
ampersand. Got that, nailed it.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah.
It's an ampersand. Man, check out the English major over here.
Well, it's because I'm mostly English,
Oh, yeah.
as I just found out. As we're getting word of the Astros debacle or their punishment, I guess it's not. Honestly, I don't think it's that. I mean, I know, what did they say? $5 million?
$5 million.
That's nothing.
No, that's nothing.
That's
But the draft picks, that's huge.
the draft picks could be big.
Yeah, that's big.
But if we're good anyway, how many? What do we?
I don't know. They're dismantling the team every day.
Yeah.
Okay, what's this have to do with beer, says Chad Pilbeam.
Yep. You're
Hey, but if
reading
you
my
want-
mind.
Hey, but Josh, if you want to talk about the Dynamo, get up to the mic there, Chad.
Nope, not going to do it.
No, I wouldn't know anything about them.
Me neither.
I can tell you right now, first of all, can't wait for him to come back. The stadium is way too hot, and so it is. It's insanely hot. But you can still buy craft beer in there, and that's what I like.
It's close to craft breweries.
It is.
So if you find yourself at a Dynamo game, you're like, what am I doing here? You can go right over to Eighth Wonder or Sigma or
True Anomaly.
True Anomaly. Yes. All
And-
right there.
Yeah, they are very close. But that's the beauty of that, with that whole revitalization down there in Edo, where they fixed it all up, cleaned it all up, and it all started with a brewery, Eighth Wonder.
Yeah.
When Eighth Wonder came in, they set up, and they were the only game in town. There was nothing, and then all of a sudden, oh, well, the soccer stadium is going to be right around the corner. Sweet. And then all these other breweries come in. The truck yard's there. Actually, Flying Saucer, a craft beer bar downtown Houston, they opened up a burger joint right around there called, what is it? Dadgummit. Kimberly! we need a producer.
It's our producer.
So, yeah, she's supposed to be looking this stuff up for us and sending it to us.
I don't have that kind of budget.
Oh, yeah.
Nor do we.
I was going to say we don't either.
Somehow we have her. She's
Yeah.
good, though. She's good peeps.
But, yeah, it's
But yeah, man, it's blowing up out there. A lot of good stuff going on.
Yeah. There's my favorite thing on like the last, we're in a new decade now, so it's a round number, so let's look at other round numbers. The last 10 years of craft beer in Houston, the pockets of, clusters of breweries.
Yeah, your area's popping when they start putting up parking meters.
I wish they had a parking meter there that day whenever we got our ticket at Eighth Wonder.
Yeah, we were doing the show, and Chad looks over, and we're getting a parking ticket as we're on the air.
We're right in the middle of the show, and I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, we're on the air, and Chad just sees this guy go whoosh, and puts a ticket right under his windshield wiper.
And then he goes and writes him up one.
Yep,
Because he was parked right in front of me.
bastard.
What day were
But-
you were there on the weekend day, so it's like
But still, it doesn't matter. They had thrown up a makeshift no parking sign.
It was. You could see the concrete. It was almost.
Yeah.
It was almost like they waited for us to park and then went and stuck the sign in because you could see the concrete was fresh.
yeah.
Yeah. It was. Of course, we're exaggerating.
I did write that ticket off on my taxes. Though.
Oh, I did too.
Yeah.
I did too. So IRS
definitely did.
IRS, you want to come find me?
I put it under valet parking.
Premium parking.
Tip the city. There you go.
No, you can't do that.
Yeah, sure I didn't do that, Uncle Sam.
Right? Yeah, I know. They listen to. Yeah, the IRS. They listen to your show, right?
I think they listen to everybody.
Exactly.
I was always neutral about the IRS, but my wife, she runs a business, and just having to deal with the IRS, like talk to them on the phone, it made me want to put my face through a window.
Do they have Middle Eastern accents and their name's Thomas?
No, it was none of that. It was just nobody knew anything, and so it was like a $7 discrepancy between what they were saying she owed and what she had sent, and where's the check, and do you have it, and do I owe this? And it was, I don't even want to talk about it. People are turning off the podcast right now, just bringing up the IRS.
No, actually, no. I'll keep.
What's this have to do with beer, Chad?
No. This again. So, now there was actually a story about this, and I'm not trying to make light of a very serious event in our American history, but a comedian brought this up one time, and he says, flying planes into buildings, not cool. Terrorist type stuff, not cool. But if you've ever had to deal with the IRS. He said one guy did. He got drunk and he was dealing with the IRS on the phone, and they were trying to collect on back taxes. He's like, "You want that payment? No problem." Took his little plane and flew over and crashed into the IRS building. He said, "I'll deliver it right now." And
Wow.
I do remember that story.
Yeah, he crashed his plane right into the IRS. Like, okay, here you go. Happy April 15th.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've heard of people trying to pay, I don't know if it was the IRS, but paying bills and things like that, and all pennies.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
bringing
Of
in just
course.
truckloads of pennies. It's like, and they have to take it.
Yep, go in and
I mean, it is currency.
yeah, going in a barrel. Of course, it's all you're getting all my money and everything. I had to sell everything else, make a point. But yeah, I don't know. But and that just cuts into beer money. Really, is that all that does? And they tax the crap out of this anyway. It's stupid. You go into some of these places here. Houston being a big city, you go in there and you look at your bill and you get the little sin tax on there. Have you seen these things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
It really should just be called a bullshit tax, but because that's what it is.
But they just voted down on this new tax that they're trying to put on breweries, right? This excise tax.
Right. Yeah. They basically tried to raise the excise tax on the barrels.
Oh, nationally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
But they voted it down.
well, they had a tax cut, and they were just going to reinstate the tax. I think that's what it was.
It's good for brewers.
But what I'm saying, yes, they
In the
voted to extend the cut.
There you go.
Yeah.
You know, they got
Nuance.
something. They got something right,
Right.
which is not something you get to say very often
Yeah. No,
about
it's not.
Washington.
Yeah. Which I'll be there next week. So
You were talking about that.
So I need to know if you guys know any good Washington D.C.
Are
breweries.
you
or
going
bars.
out to Washington?
Mm-hmm.
What brings you out there?
We have a gymnastics
Oh
competition.
man, that's right. I forgot. Like you were like way invested in that.
I know, right? And I don't look
That's
like
good,
a
though. That's
gymnast. When
good.
you look at me, you're like, there's no way, but I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
You should see me on the trampoline.
I was going to say, you get a lot of air, right?
Good for you, Josh.
Belly flops.
That's good.
That's
good.
Belly flops.
That's my main thing.
What is that place called? Urban Air or something? Where
Yeah.
you go in there, run around, and act like a
Yeah.
school kid again?
If you go in there over the age of, I don't know, 20,
Yeah.
don't be surprised if you come out with a broken
Oh, yeah.
whatever.
Uh-huh.
Multiple. That doesn't, yeah. We're not as coordinated as we used to be. Centers of gravity shift.
Out, usually, especially when we drink beer all day.
Yes. So it's like, yeah, I could do that. I used to do that all the time. It's like trying to skate again for the first time in 15 years or
Don't
20
get me
years.
started on that.
Roller skating. It's like, yeah, I got this. Watch this. I was the king of the 4th grade skate party. Showing my kids. Like, here we go. Wah! Boom.
Into the
Done.
wall.
Yep.
Out of work for
Done.
3 weeks.
Yep.
Now you're just the dad with a cooler full of beer watching other kids skate.
Yes. Which is, then you explain it. The latecomers are like, why is that guy here with drinking beer, watching kids skate? It's like, those are mine. It's fine. I got a video. You'll see it. You'll see it. It'll go viral soon. I'll be that guy. But anyway. So what's the latest with What's on Tap Radio? We've been talking for however long we've been talking. And
Oh man,
what's going on?
2020 kicking off. We just did our first show. Took a couple weeks off.
Mm-hmm.
We went late in 2019, and so we took a few weeks off. A lot of shows started before, but we did our first show over at Eighth Wonder, and it was cool because we caught up with Scott Birdwell.
Cool. How's
And
Scott?
Scott's great, man. It's kind of like we're in the world of Scott Birdwell. Man.
He's doing some stuff for Eighth Wonder, like
He's doing some
pilot stuff.
research and development on the pilot system out there, and we got into a conversation of home brewing and like, is it dying a slow death, which is sad.
I don't know. It's morphing for sure. It's not what it was. You know what I'm saying? There's so much good beer out there now.
Right. Well, yeah. That's. I mean, you can follow the trends. I mean, the path all leads to a local brewery or a brew pub or a bar that has the beer on draft. It's like, well, why do I go to the trouble to try and make this?
Right.
And question was, are millennials and Gen Xers, are they all done? Did they hang it up? And Scott made the comment. He said the aging, the median age of homebrewers is just going up and up and up, and people are just.
We said that the baby boomers aren't brewing.
That's
anymore.
right. You're right. They're just they're tired of brewing. It's like, hey, I've been brewing for 30 years. Well, let's hang it up and done. And then there's we asked him, said, Are you saying that we didn't get to the Gen Xers and the millennials and all those other? He says, no, we just didn't get to enough of them.
Yeah.
We didn't get to enough of them fast enough. And so with all the boomers hanging them up, it's crazy. I mean, what is it? Houston had 5 homebrew shops within a period of time. And I think Scott said, in a 5-year period, he went from all-time high sales to closing his doors in 5 years. So
Yeah.
interpret that for whatever you want. I mean,
Well, there's a lot of variables. There's, where he was is not exactly the cheapest place.
Yeah,
That whole
he had a
area.
lot of overhead.
That
But,
whole,
I mean, that could have.
I mean, that's any business, right? But so, I mean, we've got. Let me think about how many we have around town. We've got 2 Farm Boys. We've got what's the one down in Clear Lake?
Is there one in Clear Lake?
Yes. I think it's Clear Lake or Dickinson or somewhere down there.
When I was in Seabrook, I was working at B&S, but I know they closed their doors years ago.
And then we've got, of course, the Grain Cellar.
Yeah.
And
Preston.
Grain Cellar's holding it down.
Yeah.
And I think Farm Boys, they're doing okay, too.
Yeah. No, they're doing good. He's got both locations. He took over the
one in Katy, which is, I could throw a football to it from my house.
and then Brew It Yourself still going.
I've seen you throw a ball. You know you can't. you couldn't hit it with a golf ball and a driver.
I'm telling you, man. Back in 82, man, I could throw a football.
Could have won state.
Did I say 82?
It's just he wasn't born in 82.
What year were you born?
About that
82?
time. About that time. Somewhere around there. In that area.
But no, it's okay. Interesting conversation about think about how much the dynamic of home brewing, what it was when you talk about boomers, and how you had to craft your own equipment together, because it just wasn't. It was like a pot, and you had to do some drilling and maybe like weld some things. And you had to have all this knowledge of other things other than just brewing. And it's like, where do I find my grain? And when I do, is this like actually good brewing grain? But now you look at all the equipment available. You can get a mini, like, professional brew house in your, like, in here. You could do like a, I don't know, half barrel system in here with all stainless.
Yeah, look at Secret Beach Brewing. Look at their setups. Wow, it's incredible.
Yeah, all that, you just.
But see, go the extreme opposite of that. Right now, they got the freaking, what is it? Add water and push start, and you get beer.
Oh, like a Keurig's?
It's like daggum Instapot. It's like Traeger smoking, cheaters. Sorry for everybody who owns a Traeger. By the way, we don't have them as a sponsor yet, do we?
Yeah, I was about to talk to you about that.
Oh, crap. No, not anymore. But you got all that. By the way, I'd be remiss if I didn't say this. Also, big announcement that we made at the end of 2019. Obviously, it's great to have partners to come on and help us do the show. But Arctic Coolers on board with us for 2020 as our title sponsor, which is huge.
Yeah, I'm super stoked
And
about that. That's all Chad, by the way. That was all Chad.
Hell, it's
Chad worked his ass off for over a year.
There's a team. It's a team.
No, he worked his butt off over a year, and he made that happen. So that's on you, Chad.
Well, that's a local company.
Yes,
right there on 290 is their main their store and the all of it. Right,
overbuilt, not overpriced.
Yeah. Cool.
Arctic, that's right. ArcticCoolers.com. ArcticCoolers.com. That's RTIC. Arctic.
Oh, are they
Coolers.
sponsoring this show too?
Yeah. Well, I'll talk to them for you next time. I'll throw.
Chad's on autopilot.
Yeah.
Hey, what can I say?
He doesn't know how to turn it off.
I'm so excited about that. It is great when you get to work with a lot of different people. But the other thing that we're talking about, we're going to be out in the field more. We don't like hanging out in the office and in Studio C. That's our closet. It's a tiny little place, so we're going to be doing more shows from the road.
Yeah.
So you can come out and see how the sausage is made. If you want to come hang out with us and drink beer and.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'd rather do the show out and about rather than doing the studio because it's confined. And then it's always a little unease because, you have the engineers and then the bosses and the salespeople that are always walking through.
Are they drinking in there?
Yeah, I don't know. I always feel a little unease, even though I've been doing it at the studio for, going on 7 years will be this year. But going out and about, doing the show on the road is far, far better than doing it in studio.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
That's why I do what I do.
But I want to give credit to Josh because...
yeah. Hello.
In the early days when I was coming up with this, I want to get out and about. I was hitting you up on, hey, what equipment are you using, and what are what mics, and you gave me a lot of suggestions and stuff. And some of the stuff I still use to this day. And you gave me that 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah. Like most of the stuff that we're using right now, it's all been discontinued. So,
but hey, it still works.
It still works,
yeah,
and
it's got great.
It's I'm due for an upgrade, which is why anybody listening who wants to be a Patreon, please go check that.
Yeah, go do that. I mean, for crying out, what'd you say? It's $1 an episode or $1 a day or something?
Yeah, well, okay, yeah, you can
for less than the price of a cup of coffee.
Yeah, you can support for $1 an episode and put a cap on it.
I really want to critique when you're doing it, but can I give you a little suggestion?
Sure.
Maybe drop a little Sarah McLachlan music under when you.
Oh yeah.
I don't have those rights.
But maybe there's sites that you can go to and you just it's instrumentals and you can go put in
Stewart.
Put in Sarah McLachlan and something similar, or you have a friend who can sing.
Chad.
Yeah. I wouldn't use Chad though.
No, I'm trying to. That's my best Weird Al.
I'm sure someone at your church or something they can probably sing a Sarah McLachlan.
Sure.
Just get it. Boom.
Yeah.
I'm that money will start flying in.
Tug on those heartstrings.
That's right. And don't put a picture of a beer up there. Just put a puppy dog that's shivering in the cold. And dude, oh man, we got to help out InterBrews, man, now.
It's got a bug in its eyes.
It's like, you want to put a cap on that? Hell no! Save that dog.
Yeah, no, it's we've got a handful of Patreons now.
That's good.
And it's it's just people saying, appreciate what you do, and
exactly,
here's a little bit of love. And I'm also setting up a PayPal if you want to do like a one-time donation.
Yeah,
probably tax right text off.
Yeah, if you're a fan of Josh, which we are, and you're listening to this, and which you are right now, go check that out and throw a little love.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing it, Josh?
Look, so you can tell we're in radio. We just flipped it, and we're interviewing you now.
No, that's cool.
But I'm curious because I know he's done it longer than we've been on the air.
Yeah, I think it was 12 early 12.
Yeah,
I think it could have been. I know we had the idea in 11. When did y'all start?
2013, August of 2013.
Okay, is that a video game? What was that?
What the hell's going on in your house, Chad?
Oh, that was what I tried to turn off before we started. We're good.
It's off now.
Chad's VCR just got mad at us.
You do have a VCR in here.
It's a DVD VCR.
Oh.
Yes,
Even better. You
Yes.
could dub those tapes to another format that is no longer around. Do you have like a reel-to-reel or a
8mm.
Where's the 8-track player? That's back there. I see
You got a
it.
tube television somewhere around here?
Shut up! Oh my gosh! Welcome to my house. Yeah, when was the last time I got invited over? To
Honey,
your...
can you get that fax, please?
Shut up! Somebody's beeping me. Anybody know where a payphone is? I got to call somebody.
Oh, was that what the smoke was when I came in? That was you sending back a message.
Tie a note to this swallow. Go, fly away. Send messages. Oh my gosh! All right, we got off subject here, but so you've been doing this since 12. We've been doing it since 13. What's on Tap Radio? Big year for 2020, as we said. So we're gonna be out and about. You made an announcement I overheard. You're gonna do 52 episodes of InterBrews this year.
Yeah.
We're gonna hold you accountable.
What's the average that you've done in the past years?
It's gone up in the last few years. I think last year I hit 45 or something like that. I just because I'll take a couple weeks off for Christmas and New Year's and Thanksgiving and spring break and 4th of July and that sort of thing. But I don't know. I'll cluster them up and get 2 or 3 in a week sometime.
So he's gonna try and increase by 20%.
Yeah.
Ooh, not a show about math, but hey, we did it fast.
Yeah.
I love how Josh, he goes out and he interviews, all the up and coming new breweries. And then what I'll do is I'll just listen to Josh Stewart's InterBrews. I listen to all your InterBrews, and I listen to the interviews. It's like, I don't know if I don't really like the way that person. I don't think they're polished enough yet to do radio.
And then all of a sudden it'd be like, "Oh, that was a really good question. Write that one down.
Yeah.
I've
done that.
We steal some of your questions. I'm like, that's a good question.
No, I forget who you were talking to, and then y'all got in a subject. And then y'all kind of skated over it because I think y'all were running short on time. I was like, I want to know more about that. And I wrote it down. And then when I had that guest on, I brought that up. And they asked me, like, how do you know about that? I'm like, I got the crack research team that goes back and checks it out. But no, a lot of our research comes from InterBrews. True story.
Look, if that could be the thing, when you talk about who got started first, and then I'm gonna, John Denman's show. Drink of Ages. Who are y'all even supposed to talk about that?
No,
we can't. Yeah. It's a podcast. We can talk about whatever we want.
John DeMarco.
John Juan DeMarco.
John Juan DeMarco.
We actually here we got to clear this up real quickly. So John Denman does a show called Drink of Ages, and it's on ESPN Radio, which is not on the same network that we are on. We are
competing station.
Yes, competing station. Yep. So feel free to edit out that I said the ESPN thing.
No,
but
I don't edit out anything.
Okay, that's fine. It's fine. No,
got 52 shows to do, man.
But we were told if we were going to have another company that he works for, the brewery he works with and for on the show, he couldn't be on the show, and it was like fine. So we gave him an alias instead of John Denman. It was John Juan DeMarco.
Our producer said no. They didn't want John on the show.
Why?
Because he's a competing.
Because he's a personality.
He's a personality.
Listen,
he's a face. He's a name.
We went above our producers and said, "Hey,
we changed it.
We just changed his name." And it cracks me up to this day. Every time I think about it, it's like, because we'll still refer to Denman as, "Hey, John Juan DeMarco."
And so I do some work with Brazos Valley Brewing, and
our neighbor Josh, our neighbor.
Yeah. And so Josh was on Drink of Ages, and he asked me to come with. And our producer said, "You can't be on the show." So he gave me
I don't understand.
No, he gave me he gave me some other nickname too. So he gave me an alias, and so
it's just a non-compete thing,
right? I was on the show as like Carlos Pereira or something. Yeah, I don't know what it was, but it was some name.
Ron Mexico.
I don't know. Like, media companies are really particular on their personalities going on.
I think it's archaic. I think it's
super
silly.
archaic. I have friends that work at Fox 26, and I've asked them to come on the show, and they can't do radio.
It's ridiculous because you look at, you can have the national guys. When somebody, you'll have an ABC anchor go on the talk show that's on, CBS or whatever. It's more publicity. Like, why wouldn't you want more people knowing? It's not like, you can't, that people don't know the other one.
They're afraid
exists.
we're going to go on there and say something that could.
What are they don't care about podcasts?
No, podcasts that's an all different ball game. Yeah. I mean, we're free to do any podcast, but yeah, I couldn't go on Denman's show. Chad has a little more loose.
He's rogue.
Yeah, because he's not. I'm physically employed by a media company. He is not. Even though he's employed by What's on Tap Radio, he's not employed by the media company.
Like a gun for hire.
Yeah, where he can go on other networks. Because you've done like CBS, right?
Yeah,
like Cleverly's show.
Yeah.
Which, by the way,
I've jumped on CBS.
Shout out to Cleverly, man. She's not doing well.
No.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I didn't mean to bring that up.
I've
just been thinking a lot about her.
I'll raise
my
everybody's
friend
spirits here a
show.
little bit. I just grabbed a beer out of the fridge since we were talking about Brazos Valley. A little slipping in darkness. Nice. Imperial Stout. Is that all right with you?
Yeah.
I mean, hey, it's your show. I just
Yeah.
don't.
What do you talk about? Brazos Valley?
No, I wanted to
Drink the beer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That's what we do.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah. No, there's no rules, man.
That's funny.
Yeah. It's just if you have a beer and you pour it, then.
Did I forgot how podcasts are fun.
Yeah, they are.
I love podcasts.
Now, I've asked you this before. Would you ever, I know radio, they pay, that's the upside, right?
He said radio pays.
Compared to what I'm doing? Yeah, it pays. Substantially more.
Well, it just depends
factors
on
of
what your definition of pay is.
Any money received for services rendered.
Sure.
Plug for the patriarch again.
Sure.
Patreon.
That's what I said.
You said patriarch.
That's what I said.
Chad's off the mic.
It's like Father Abraham.
Chad's going around and pouring Slip in the Darkness into our cups. I don't know if Josh really wanted the glass. You could have just poured us in our glasses and then handed him the can.
This seems more of a glass needed type style. I wanted something crispy and light to start, and so.
But I'm so jealous of podcasters.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have so much freedom.
It's true. 0 reads, 0 commercial breaks. At least
you don't have to hit the marks and such.
No.
It's fun. I like doing podcasts. Thanks for inviting us, Josh.
Of course, anytime. Like I think it's been too long. Of course, I haven't had the two of you on at the same time ever.
No.
This is the first time ever.
I think this is the first time Chad and I have actually done a podcast together. Usually it's just me or it's just him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say, have we? I'm not even sure we've done TV together. Have we?
No. I don't think we've ever done TV.
We've always done TV separately. You've done a bit, and then I'll do one.
And then we're never invited back.
Shut up. I hate how you always bring that up. It's such an old story, and it's not true.
Chad goes on television, spills beer all over studio, and that's the last time What's on Tap Radio has been invited back.
It was not the last time I got invited back. In fact, they brought that up when I went back.
TV is a little more uptight even than radio.
It is a little.
Not
a little bit. Way more uptight.
Everything has to be scripted. Everything has to be just so. Oh, we got 3 minutes here, and when at least with radio, you have like 7 or 15.
It's funny you say that because last time I was on, we had the whole thing scripted, and they wanted to know everything, and this is what we're going to talk about. Give me the outline. Didn't talk about one thing.
That's television for you, though.
Yep.
Because I've done the TV, and they're like, all right, here's the list of questions we're going to ask you, and I'm like, all right, cool. So you start looking at the questions, and you start getting ready, and then they ask you the first question, and then that's it.
They go right off the rails.
Right off the rails.
Like, whoa, freestyle.
And I'm thinking, the whole time we're flying off the rails, I'm thinking, like, are they going to go back to the next question? Okay, I'll roll with it, because I'll roll with it, but all right.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun. I've worked in TV for a while, and I think part of that is that they have this whole thing they're going to do, and especially with what I do, they're always talking about the graphics and stuff they got to throw up and all that kind of. And that's part of why they need it all scripted. But it's like when they go off like that, the people in the truck or the studio behind the scenes are like, these people are idiots. These on camera people are idiots. I hate them all. It's like there's this animosity by the production staff.
It's funny because if you go backstage and you overhear the producers, all they're doing is just bickering like, oh, God, cut to the camera 3, like, because obviously the host has just derailed the whole interview, and they had this plan of like, oh, we're gonna zoom in on this shot when, especially if you're talking about food or beer. And, and then you don't even get to the beer, and they're ready for that shot. They're like, all right, zoom in on it. They're gonna go to it, and he never does.
Yeah,
and then they're scrambling. It's the funniest thing to listen to.
This let's talk a little bit about this beer.
I gotta let it breathe for a second, right, Chad?
Sure, if you want. If that's what you need, then do it.
I like to let beers really come to their potential by letting them
This
warm
is the
up.
first time I've had this beer.
Oh, really? Okay, so it's 10.5% Slipping into Darkness. What it is it's Brazos Valley Brewing Company out in Brenham, Texas. It is their 5th anniversary Russian Imperial Stout remade with coffee and cocoa nibs. And they're doing, last year was the first release of it. Now 6 years old, the brewery is. This particular beer, this is the re-release of it, and there'll be 3 variants of it this year. I know they're going to make one with hazelnut, one with coconut, and the other one that's out right now is the maple pecan. Or is it pecan? Let's have that argument.
I say pecan.
Dude, I'm sorry. I just got breaking news.
Oh, this again.
What?
AJ Hinch, Jeff Luno, both fired.
Really?
Both fired.
Wow.
By Jim Crane.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if they can't coach for a year,
yeah, they're fired. How about that?
maybe that.
Sorry, man. I didn't mean to.
No, it's okay.
Maybe he had to do that.
Back to Slipping in the Darkness.
Well, that's
now
what,
I need that in my life.
That's what the Astros are doing right now.
Yeah, they are.
They're slipping into darkness for sure.
That's all right. You know, we'll always have 2017.
Unless they take that away, too.
No, I don't
that
think-
might have been what Jim Crane had to do to keep them from taking away the title.
Remember yesterday.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they've done that before. They've taken away people's Heisman trophies. They've taken, Reggie Bush and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So maybe that was part of it.
I'll remember you.
AJ Hinch will go work on TV. I don't know what Jeff.
Yeah,
will
he'll
do.
probably go coach in
He'll go work on TV. He'll go work for the MLB Network or somewhere.
He could probably
ESPN.
analyze the calls.
Yes.
Or the play. The
Nobody's got-
signals.
he's already been looking at him on a video for a long time. It's like, I can tell you exactly what they called right there.
All right. Yep.
He's been training.
Got a slider coming up on this one. Sorry, James. Oh, come on. Hey, listen. It's not like we're talking about, I don't know, 500,000 animals dying in Australia here. This is a coach who got fired for cheating. I think we'll be okay. See, now it got real. Gee, Chad, way to bring it down here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was closer to 1 billion.
Whatever it is, I don't know. It's a lot.
It's a lot of
dead animals.
kangaroos
All I
and
know,
koala bears.
yeah. All I know is whenever they're taking food in helicopters and just throwing it out just so that the remaining animals have something to eat. That's pretty sad. And mainly it's sad because there's a brewer somewhere saying I could have made a beer out of that, a smoothie beer, something like that. But because there are no rules in brewing, we talked about that.
No.
By the way, if I sounded very cynical when I said that, it's because I was.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are they throwing out smoothie beers for the animals?
No, they don't have to throw them out.
No, they don't want to kill them
just
with
explode.
exploding cans.
All right, sorry. I got way too cynical there. No, no, what I was saying is basically there are no rules. It's like, hey, we'll make a beer out of anything. And so, I was being somewhat facetious when I said that brewers are looking at, turnips going out, they're, whatever it is they're throwing on the ground to try and keep these animals alive. And some brewers like, man, we can make a beer out of that.
Yeah, turnip stout.
Hey, man, they've made beer out of sweet potatoes. They've made beer out of, what was avocado beer? Oh, that was a hit.
With the hipsters.
Jester King used mushrooms.
I don't know. I can't see fermenting avocados or mushrooms. I just can't see it. I'm not, or even brewing with it. I guess there's some home brewer yelling at me right now. They're not fermenting with it, dumbass.
Yeah, they're probably just putting in the
No sugar. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, at least I caught my mistake.
It's fine.
I'll own it.
It's a forgiving audience.
Yeah, it is. I do like that about you, man, and everybody who's listening. Hey, you know what? Maybe here's a call out. Let's go to the parsonage call again. What was it called? For $1 a day parsonage call. That's what
Patreon.
That's what I said. Yeah, for $1 a day, you can get help Josh get better guests than me. And
Not $1 a day. An
yeah,
episode.
yeah,
$1 episode.
dude, $1 a day.
Okay.
And so that's 52 episodes coming next year or this year. So that's $52. That's,
Only, yeah.
That's like a cell phone payment.
Yeah.
That's assuming you hit your 20% increase over last year.
Oh, I'll hit it.
All right.
Yeah. Maybe I'll just head over to San Antonio in April.
Let's go.
For the what you call it?
You gonna head out there?
CBC Craft Brewers Conference.
You gonna head out there?
I want to, but there's
You
a lot of
should.
moving parts.
Oh, here it comes.
Gymnastics.
No, that'll be done by then.
Okay.
But it's a matter of having enough vacation time and all that kind of stuff. I could sleep in my car. That's not a big deal. We've
I
talked
can
about
sleep in my car.
it. That's not.
Well, you do got a nice flannel and beard, so
I
you
don't
know.
think Airbnbs in San Antonio are hard to come by.
Might be for that week.
I was
though.
going to say they're going to be.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it depends how close you want to get downtown, but if you want to stay out in the hill country where it's nice.
Maybe I can sleep in a brewery. Maybe they'll
There
let
you
me
go.
sleep
Yeah.
on the bar.
Ooh, there you go. Oh, that's a great idea. You ought to call up one of the San Antonio brewers.
Hit up Freetail and
Yep.
see if you could clean out some kegs for a couch.
No, I wouldn't even do that. I just tell them, just say, hey, we're going to turn this place into a hostel. And everybody's going to open up a bar tab at the end of the night when they come back. And dude, that'll more than pay for you just being able to flop on the floor and flush the toilet at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah. As long as nobody gets sick and pukes
That's
all
pretty
over
cool
the
that
place.
CBC's coming to San Antonio.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised by it. I mean, with
Yeah.
Houston, Austin, Dallas being such mecca spots for craft beer, they choose San Antonio.
Can I have a theory about this.
Let's hear it.
Okay, so being from Michigan and having moved here later in my life, I've been here for 20 years. So, but I'm old, so that counts for something. But what I've noticed here is that people who live in Dallas love living in Dallas for all the right reasons. People who live in Houston love living in Houston for all the right reasons. But if you ever try to get somebody to come and visit Houston or Dallas, they look at you and they're like, "There's nothing to do. There's really not. You got NASA, sports.
You would be
food.
fired if you worked for the
No.
Houston tourism.
No,
By the way, the
no,
new
I'm
sponsor
serious.
for this podcast.
No,
Yeah.
I'm serious. But it's San Antonio. You got the Alamo. You got the Riverwalk. You're
I'm
close
sorry,
to the
we
hill
have
country.
NASA.
You got NASA, right? Okay, so you went and saw the space program.
Kima, Boardwalk.
Kima Boardwalk.
Yeah, okay.
The great restaurants we have.
Right, that's the thing is unless you're going to eat and drink, and so Houston is one of the
We
most.
have a beach at Galveston. Surfside.
Okay, all right, I'll go.
I mean, it's kind of the same reason why people go to New Orleans.
But see, okay, hold on. I'm going to clarify my statement here. When people come here, they say, where are we going to go? What are we going to do? We don't have an amusement park. We don't have, I mean, yeah, you can go out there and you can see the San Jacinto Monument and you can see a little bit of history. That's awesome. I get all that. That's cool. But they literally, they'll tell me every time you talk about how great Houston is, it's all about either your sports teams, your food, or your beer. And I'm like, yeah. It's a great place to live. It is amazing. We love it here. And they're like, well, there's just not a lot going on. I mean, there's, what else is there?
Because San Antonio has the Alamo
And the
Fiesta,
river,
Texas,
and the Riverwalk, and
the Riverwalk's
and
just a
SeaWorld,
body that's concreted.
and SeaWorld, and the cavern bridges, and you're so close to you're close to New Braunfels. I mean, there's a ton in that area that's there, and so it's not that I'm trying to say that you don't want to go to Houston. What I'm saying is that whenever you put those three cities together, I think it's a no-brainer. If I'm going on vacation, I would go to San Antonio every time. If I'm going on vacation, not just because I live in Houston, but if I were just to look at what's available, trust me, when I go to Dallas, the only thing I do in Dallas is eat and drink and work. That's it. There's not. It's like
I can agree with you on the Dallas
right.
thing.
There's nothing.
Not
to
sure
do.
about the history. Do they have a rich history in Dallas?
They have a building. This building's almost 15 years old.
I mean,
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's getting torn down next
Right.
week. But
You
that's
go
a big
where to
deal.
see JFK was assassinated.
Right? Yeah. Okay. Well, that was sad.
Well, I
Okay.
mean, it's still a historical landmark.
It is. And I can't stress enough that they're all great cities in their own right. I love living in Houston. And hey, come see Houston and come hang out. But I'm gonna say, if you had to pick between the three,
What about Austin?
Austin's another great tourist city. I think. I mean, just for travel. Now, I don't think it's a great city to live in, and it's too expensive.
Well, it's a college town.
It's so expensive.
Well, and driving around there is worse than
Yeah, it's
anywhere else.
terrible.
Traffic's terrible. It's expensive. The people who live there love living there because that's what they like.
Yeah.
That's them. But you look at cost of living, Houston and Dallas, oh my goodness, it's wonderful. Taxes are low. Get a lot for your house. You got a ton of breweries. I mean, geez.
All the humidity.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Like all of it?
all the humidity and none of the beach to go with it. All right. But it's one of those things. I can't say enough great things about
I think we're
living in Houston.
We're headed out to CBC, aren't we?
Yes, we're
Yeah,
going to
okay.
CBC.
I don't know.
Where y'all staying?
Go ahead, James. Where are we
Well,
staying?
It's not nailed down yet. I can't. We don't know yet.
It's one of two places.
It's one of two places.
Yes.
And I don't want to
Is
put
anybody
out.
s-
You're not going to say?
No, I'm not gonna say. And the reason why I'm not gonna say is because we're still trying to nail down the details, and
Okay.
I don't want to upset any party.
Right.
If
Either place, is anybody sleeping in your bathtub?
not that I'm aware of.
Well, hold on a second.
Not that I'm aware
In
of.
one of the places, there definitely won't be a bathtub, but you could lean against the wall in the stand-up shower. I will go ahead. I'm going to go ahead. I'm not going to go into details. Don't worry. But we have tentatively been. We have a soft invite from a brewery to stay in a hotel. And we're waiting for final confirmation whether or not those rooms are available. And if they're not, that's okay. It's no big deal. But we also have a soft invite. Now, I'd say it's more than soft. This is pretty definite invite. But out in the hill country, somebody's bringing a camper, one of those big old travel trailers. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
but it's a nice new 2020
Yeah.
camper. It's not like some raggedy.
No, this isn't. No. This isn't one of those old Pleasure Mate 17-footers that you gotta crank and pop up, and you gotta air out the wet canvas. No, this is actually something a little bit.
Is there a
nicer.
shower?
I believe so. Yeah, there's a shower.
I think
there's
is.
a shower.
4
yeah.
days, right? Isn't it World Beer Cup too, or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's a year, correct?
This is the World Beer Cup year.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's a big year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4 days. It's like a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday kind of thing, right?
Starts Sunday, goes through Wednesday.
Yeah. So
Which that's gonna be a busy week because we have we partner up with the Cater Rotary Club and the Wild West Brew Fest, and we'll have that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then CBC kicks on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
you're gonna need an extra liver.
Yeah. No kidding.
Liver.
I will say something else about Houston as far as visiting and whatnot.
Chad's backpedaling now.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not.
Strip clubs, man.
No. Oh, please don't get me started. No, I don't think so. That's no. I'm not going there. Absolutely not. But what I was going to say is for business, the way the city's laid out, as far as where the convention centers are and the hotels and the way they accommodate to that, it's awesome for business. And again, I say it. For business and for living here, it's awesome. But if you're going to say, "Hey, let's go on vacation," where do you want to go? I'm sorry, Houston just doesn't jump up in the list. I mean, you think about the cities. You think Orlando. That's always a big one. You think New York. You think Vegas. You think all those big cities. New Orleans, San Antonio, and that's why I think San Antonio got the nod instead of Houston or Dallas. It's a bigger draw as a tourist destination. It's not that it's a better city to live in. It's not. I'm not even saying it's a better city. I'm just saying it's a better.
All
tourist
because
draw.
they have the Alamo, Fiesta, Texas,
SeaWorld,
and the Riverwalk.
Riverwalk.
I don't
And
think
that's
people go
it.
to SeaWorld anymore. Not since that documentary,
What?
Blackfish.
Oh yeah.
That's sad.
Dodge the PETA protesters to get through the doors.
Yeah.
In the swim with
But
the
I
killer whale.
feel Houston has more of a
Far
tourist
away.
attractiveness to the city than San Antonio.
I will say,
Ocean.
when I look at my Google Maps year in review, like of all the places I've been, it's something like 15,000 miles or something like that. It's Houston's not close. Nothing in Houston is close to anything else in Houston,
Unless you're here for business and you're at the convention center.
and it's all in one building. But if you're driving,
Well, you're right there. You're right there next to.
By the way, if you want to go at Chad Pilbeam on
fine,
Twitter,
bring it. I don't care. You know what? Chad has
if you
opinions.
want to
and-
disagree with him.
Yeah, I have opinions and I'm not afraid to share them. And the thing is I've traveled a lot for business and I've traveled a lot for personal vacation. And people come here and they're like, yeah, it's a really nice city. But, after I've eaten all I can eat and I've eaten all the barbecue I can eat and I've drank all the beer I can drink, where are we going to go? I mean, and there's just, and of course, like you said, with all the humidity.
Yeah.
Try visiting in June. And say, let's go for a bike ride. Let's go down there to Buffalo Bayou for a bike ride, right? You come back 8 pounds lighter.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they want to come back 8 pounds lighter.
I'm suggesting that, the leisure in the summer is a little restrictive to climate controlled environments.
But once you get inside,
Yeah,
those
Yeah, it's
breweries are
comfy.
awesome. Speaking of Buffalo Bayou.
right.
Yeah.
But
Brand new
but
brewery.
if you've ever walked on the river walk in the summertime, yep. You know why? Because it got like 9,000 trees and it covers it up and it keeps it cool.
Yeah. We are what we are.
Of course, yeah. Don't be anything different. Hey, I don't want it to change. You know why? Because I love living here.
Yeah.
Seriously, you got great. I'm telling you, it's all the wonderful amenities of having a great place to live are here in Houston. And frankly, you know what? I'm going to say this. Yeah, I'm going to go out here. Yeah, another opinion. Watch this. Be bold. Yeah. By not being the same tourist destination that you see in a San Antonio, we get less visiting traffic, and we have our own traffic problems. We don't need to inherit anymore.
Maybe. Sure. I like it. I mean,
I love it.
I think our highways are much more logically laid out than, say, Dallas.
Oh,
yeah, for sure.
Try to make sense of Dallas. You're in the far left lane. It's like, oh, you map's telling you, hey, in 10 feet, please merge 18 lanes that way.
Yes.
And exit. It's like,
it's dumb.
Everything's a damn toll road in Dallas.
It is so dumb the way that city is laid out with highways. I can't stand it. And my son had an internship up there in Fort Worth, and he called me after the first week, and he said, "Who built this city?
Yeah.
The roads are
wasn't rock and roll.
Starship."
timely reference.
Yeah. Anyway.
Woo.
What? Yeah. All right. So, what'd you think of that beer? I see you killed yours.
Yeah, it was good.
James needs a nipple on
I
his.
told you I'm letting it warm up to really appreciate the aromas and air.
Josh, didn't you bring some beer?
Yeah, it's in that manly looking.
in your
in my grandmother's
mom's purse.
Dude, you know what's funny? Is that your cooler?
It's a cooler that I happen to own.
Years ago.
Arctic, step up, please. We got to replace this thing
Years
now.
ago, and I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to call out the brewery, but they came to pitch their beer for us to try, and the guy brings his the beer in his kid's like lunchbox, and it couldn't even zip because the beers were sticking out, and he had ice in the lunch kit, and it was leaking all over the place, and it had a monkey on the lunch kit.
Is it a local?
Yeah, it was a Texas brewery, not open anymore. The beer we passed on it, but the presentation was I was like, I'm sorry, what kind of? Well, I couldn't find my cooler, so I found the next best thing, my kindergarten lunch kit.
Now,
I let him buy today so I can use his lunch kit.
see, I don't know if James remembers this, but we actually did have lunchbox beer one time. We were at No Label Brewing Company, and Brandy Smith from Channel 11.
To what? Did she bring beer?
She brought beer to us at No Label to try during the
in a
show.
lunch kit.
And it was in a lunchbox. And we were like, what the heck is this? Like, yeah, I ate my lunch and I had to have someplace to bring the beer and I didn't have a cooler, so I threw it in my lunchbox. And we're like, oh, cool. So we're opening up. We're like, well, let's see if you must have finished your lunch because I don't see an apple left over. You ate all your lunch. You finished your lunch. You get a beer.
Sandwich and
you get a beer.
And the apple slices.
Snack pack.
Snack pack.
Pudding.
Oh, what do you got? What do you got in the?
Oh, go ahead. It's a little double art car in there.
Oh, what do you think about that?
It was really good.
It's really good.
I was gonna say very good. I said very good because I was gonna say very.
Chad, you're
and
closer
really
to it than I am.
There's also the winter Texas winter IPA.
Oh, okay.
I love that one a lot. That's another reason I would probably never buy a Sculpin grapefruit Sculpin. I think that
There's so many good local.
well, that one is
Local
like,
IPAs.
yeah. And then we had some. It's all St. Arnold in there for whatever reason. That was what. And then their latest cider, the honey agave.
okay.
I don't know. So I threw what I had in there.
Nice.
I've had too much time off of work, and so now my refrigerator is completely empty. Everything. I just drank everything.
How's the wife feel about that?
Just
Does she
glad I'm
care?
back at work.
Oh, so were you out of work for a while?
Yeah, I was on vacation
Oh, gotcha.
for like 2.5 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see.
So I'm just saying I had. Huh? Yeah.
Chad again.
I'm not.
Off the mic, going around and
Oh.
filling up everyone's glasses.
Little coffee apple. Wouldn't be so
You know,
bad.
I'm gonna pass on that one. I'm not a big cider guy. I don't like too sweet.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Wow.
Don't look at me like that.
No,
It's fine.
Chad's like, whoa.
I like it.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'll save room.
I'll say this one.
I'll save room for the double R car.
James
Yeah.
Simpson
Y'all
been
take
invited
those.
to podcast for the last time here.
I'm allowed to pass on beers.
Yeah, not in my house. All right.
I will
Somebody
have
brings
to.
a gift and you say no. Oh man, that's dude. Good thing. Good thing we weren't traveling doing this show in Asia.
No, well.
Yeah, you refuse a gift in Asia, man. Samurai.
Lose my ankles, I guess.
Yeah. Speaking of, we do have. I'm going to have a heart out today to go pick up my children. So I've got another. How much time do I got? About 15 more minutes.
Okay.
So let's have some really good conversation and go. I don't know.
I like that. Hey, do more better than what you just did.
Yeah.
Go.
No more bitching about Houston
So
sports.
you don't like cider at all?
I do.
You hate cider? Is that what I heard you say?
No, I don't hate cider.
You think St. Arnold was stupid for making cider? Is that what you just said?
I rather.
You thought Brat Wagner is the biggest idiot ever because he made cider?
No.
That's basically what I heard James say. I'm just kidding.
I'm not looking at guys here anymore. There's photos.
We are just getting uninvited from everywhere.
No, Brock loves us. No, I'm just not a big sweet beer drinker.
This one is sweeter than the
Dry.
The dry.
Like, I'm not a big fan of meads. I can appreciate them. Just
What have you had a good dry mead or a good dry cider?
oh, I've had tons of great meads,
What about like Texas Keeper or Argus or something like that? They have some really dry, bone dry,
and they're
like,
absolutely delicious. Love it, but just not my
not your jam.
not my jam.
Okay.
No.
I don't know if I like ciders. A matter of fact, I know I don't like cider as much as beer. But when I'm drinking cider, I'm like, yeah, I'm enjoying this.
But my wife and I will go to a brewery and we split flights, and we'll go to sweet to sour flights. And I kind of let her kind of stick to the sweet beers.
Okay. Yeah. No, I take them all, but yeah, you can only drink so much sweet. I like dry. I'm a dry dude. Super dry.
You couldn't have said that any more dry. Yeah. Hi. My name's Josh, and I'm kind of a dry guy.
I'm a dry dude. There's some really good dry meads as well. If you're into that sort of thing.
Yeah, I am, but James isn't. But
Hopped
this
meads?
show about beer. Not really. You can't. In sense, James will start talking. Well, you can't talk about the Astros. You can't talk about meat. Speaking of dry, though, can you believe this dry January bull crap?
I get the
I get it.
sentiment. After the holiday season I had, I get it.
I get it.
I don't okay, so I got to try the I went and purchased some of the Athletic Brewing out in California. It's a non-alcoholic craft brewery or
That's like
whatever.
the big thing now.
Yeah. And they have an IPA. And so I tried it and I'm like
A non-alcoholic IPA?
yes. And so I'm like, you know what? Let's see what this is all about. And it tasted I would put it in the same realm as like a session IPA. So not a real IPA. Like a pale ale-ish.
But it tasted hoppy?
Yes, but the body was not there. It was
like
kind of thin.
Ultra thin?
Yeah. And so I'm guessing that happens from the way they extract the alcohol, where they have to boil everything down and then dry hop and all that kind of stuff.
I would be interested to try that.
Yeah, it was, if you like hop water, like carbonated hop water, which is
Yeah.
very refreshing.
Yeah, I do like
actually,
hop
it's
water.
great.
This is a little past that. The only thing is, so if you're just cutting out alcohol just for the sake of cutting out alcohol, then you're still getting calories though. You know what I'm saying? So if you're trying to like eat better and minus alcohol, that's part of your strategy. I would say, you know what? Then don't even do the non-alcoholic stuff because you're still getting, I don't know, 45 calories a serving or something like that. Just go with hop water or go with I drink a Topo Chico.
I love Topo Chico.
every night.
I love it.
I think Topo Chico is just pretentious water, and you
It
guys
is.
really
I
don't
mean,
like
it
it.
is.
You
but
really don't like it.
The bubbles are what
I like
do
the
it.
bubbles. Yeah, I like the bubbles.
Yeah, because I like to be fat and bloated from carbonation without any of the flavor.
Yeah.
No. Why?
Because if you eat your last meal at 6 o'clock
Okay.
and you're working until midnight
Okay.
and you get home, and your stomach is growling, you don't want to fool anything on your stomach before you go to bed. You drink Topo Chico. It fills you up.
I love it.
You feel a little full until you get to sleep, and then you burp in your sleep. You feel hungry again, but you're asleep, so you don't know it. So you trick yourself.
Wait a minute. I just heard you say, I really like Topo Chico. In reality, you're using it as a drug. and you're just to trick your body
Yeah.
right before bed. That's the only time you drink it.
No.
Well, now you got to come up with a BS story for all the other times you drink it.
Typically after I mow the yard.
Oh, we're not talking lawns, dude.
True story. About 2 years ago, I pitched to Topo Chico to sponsor the show.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, yeah, beers, but don't you want to clench your palate?
Yeah.
So why not have a...
I screwed up that sponsorship now, too. Dang it. Traeger,
I meant to tell you that,
Topo
Chad.
Chico. Yeah, you got to let me know what you're working on here.
Well, I mean, this was like 3 or 4 years ago. I think this was BC,
Before Chad.
before Chad.
Yeah.
In the year of our Chad.
No, don't. Hey, don't put me on that. Listen.
Well, you're the only Chad I know, so.
No, I know.
You're our Chad.
Oh, okay.
Collectively
Yeah.
in this room.
That's true.
Yeah. I'm not trying to be sacrilegious or anything.
No, I know. I know.
You're just our
yeah.
Chad.
Thank you. I'm glad you're not being sacrilegious because I taught a Bible study on Sunday, and these little kids, they remember me from whenever I had them, just real little kids, and they looked at me and I said, "Hey, who's your favorite Mr. Chad?" And they're like, "You." And it's like, "You're the only Chad he knows." I said, "I'm still his favorite, though."
Yeah. Take it where you can get it.
That's right. Hey, James, you want another beer?
No, I got the Slip in the Darkness.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right, because I'm going to crack open another beer here in
All
a
right,
second.
you do that. But I like to...
You do. I'm good. I gotta go.
He's got to go.
Swing through and pick up kids. That's another responsibility, yo. When you're being a good dad, yo, you gotta, limit yourself on the ABVs. It's just a thing. Anyway, sorry. What were you gonna say?
No, I'm stoked to just be not in the driver's seat for once.
Of the show?
Yeah,
Or
the
of
show.
life?
Of the show.
Oh. Yeah.
I know. Actually, I thought James was going to freak out. He's going to look over there and it's like, I got to touch some of the knobs and the buttons. But you're doing
Man.
good.
That's why I like
You can't. Once we're done recording,
I'm
are you going to
good.
be here all day, Chad?
I ain't. Coin flip. I know nobody wants to hear this, but when you wake up in the morning, you go outside and you got a flat tire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta deal with that.
Got to deal with that.
Okay.
Why? You coming back?
Well, I might have to leave my stuff
Oh, that's fine.
and come back and get it.
Can we record a segment or two
Sure.
for our show? And
If
Yeah.
you want to, I can leave my recorder.
I'm just kidding.
We'll transfer. I'll put it on Dropbox or something. It's all good. Listen, when you say that you ask a question to like further a conversation I had on this podcast with
Yeah.
a local brewer or something, I think that's the coolest thing ever. If I could get everybody who listens to people talk about beer to listen to all of our shows, I think it's the best thing that could happen.
I'm the same way. Anybody that's putting out the craft beer gospel, if you will, I'm all for it.
Yeah. Well, it's not just that. I mean, you think
We're
about
promoting, what they can do to promote the scene.
Well, I'm talking about doing 52 shows this year.
Yeah.
You know how many breweries there are in the Houston area?
64.
Yes, that's more than 52. I can't even get to everybody in a year.
And 5 just opened in the last 30 minutes.
Yeah, since we started talking.
Yeah, I just got an update. AJ just fired and he's opening a brewery. But yeah, you can't get to everybody in a year, and things
Call signs.
Things
Now,
stolen signs.
do you want to
IPA.
hit all new breweries, or are you going to repeat any of them?
Well, okay, so there's kind of a rhythm. There's I hit some people like every so often, like at that time of the year or whatever. And then there's some people I haven't been to in a couple of years, and I've been in like Eighth Wonder I haven't been to in probably 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
I need to get over the So it's been a while.
Wow. Yeah.
And I've talked to them, and they're like, yeah, let's figure it out. So it's just a matter of setting it up and making the time. And I do all this before I go to work, so it's like. Or on
Yeah, I don't know how you shuffle that time. That amazes me how you do that.
That's why I've got to. It's a lot easier to do it during school year than it is
Okay.
like during the summer when all the kids are at home and I'm basically the chauffeur for 3 months. I'm gonna get 52, Chad. I see the doubt on your face.
No, it's not the down
Hey,
on
I'm
the
rooting
52.
for you.
No, I'm not. No, I'm
Like I
not.
said, I listen to every InterBrews.
I am not. Yeah.
What's your least favorite one? Just kidding.
Oh wow, that's always a fun.
No, I've heard ones that I'm like, I'm not gonna name them, but I've heard ones that I probably won't be having those people on the show, and then they fizzled out.
Okay,
This is years ago.
sure. I don't. Yeah,
I mean, it happens.
yeah.
But then
See, I don't know. I don't worry too much about. I don't know. Just if we have fun doing the show, and I have fun doing every show, even if it's just me sitting in a room like the update I just did. I could have sat there and talked for 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I think we all have that.
But the fact that we have the producers who are, they're so, they don't want to just bring in anybody on the
Yeah.
radio. They want to make sure that this person's going to be energetic. They're going to be bringing some some sort of entertainment to the show.
If you bring somebody on and you got to drag them through
and
the
they
interview,
freeze, it's tough.
and then what happens is, as listeners, they go and they click off or they change, and then all of a sudden, and then they say, "What the hell happened with that show?"
Has that happened to you before? Have you had somebody on and they just tense up as soon as the mics go hot?
I mean, there's some people that gravitate to it more naturally than others, but I think we do such a long show. It's an hour.
They kind of warm up.
Sometimes, especially somebody's first time, it takes them, 30 minutes or so to kind of get going. And then when I go back and listen, and I'm like, okay, they were a little uncomfortable, and you can kind of tell the moment that the beer kicked in, or they forgot the mic was there, or it all kind of happened, and they just started being themselves. Typically, to me, and I find that entertaining. Anybody's story I find entertaining, especially if somebody who's gone through everything you have to do to open a brewery.
But just getting them to open up to talk about.
Yeah.
Because there's been moments where Chad and I, we get on the air and Chad and I just look at each other like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Like this is going to be a tough one.
It's a different game. Like mine it would be like sprints versus marathon running or I don't know. There's probably some other sports analogy that would work better.
We don't have somebody to research it for us right now.
Right,
and that's because you got to give to the patriarch right now $1 a day, and then we can get
$1 a minute.
I like that call. We get a producer.
Yeah,
do research.
No, this is where it's I don't know. It's some people are more comfortable in it. Some people really enjoy it, and you can tell when it kind of clicks, and that's a personality thing too. Y'all's personalities are different than my personality, and so different people are going to react differently and whatever.
And that's kind of what you have a little bit more of an advantage than we do as far as getting people to warm up because we have 11 minutes.
Yeah, that's nothing.
And 11 minutes flies by very quickly.
Yeah,
that is true.
You're talking about intro. You're talking about outro. You're talking about
get the plugs in. Social media, website, and all that.
It's a totally different skill set.
Just know this, folks. If you want to start a podcast, the struggles that we go through.
But not only that, I mean, I don't think we've said thank you to you, but I'm gonna say thank you for having us on, but also thank you for doing what you do because it's a grind, and there are so many people who go into this. James taught me this. I've only been doing it 3 years. To me, honestly, no joke. When he invited me to be part of the show, I got a little misty eyed. I almost cried up. I mean, it was great. I was excited. And then, you look at all the work that goes into it. And it's like, whoa, what did I sign up for? And it's like, I still love it. It doesn't matter. The thrill of being able to do the show every week. But I will tell you right now, if you don't love doing this, you're not going to make it because the people come and go so fast.
I can do a whole show on podcasting. How many you've seen it? You've been a part of this longer than I have. My radio show. But how many people have come and gone? I'm gonna do a craft beer podcast.
Yeah, I can think of 3 or 4 just off the top of my head in the Houston area.
But they just don't understand how tough it is.
Most people don't get past. Well, okay, I think there's last stat I saw something like 250,000 people or 250,000 different podcasts or something like that.
Maybe
easy. Way more than that.
Easy, yeah.
But something like 85% of them don't get past 10 episodes.
Right.
10 to 15 episodes.
Yeah.
James was telling me that, and it's not that we're out there rooting against people, but he introduces me to some of these podcasts, and he says, "Yeah, this is a new podcast. Check it out," or "Hey, go listen to this," or I'll send him one, and he'll sit there and say, "Yeah," he said, "I can just tell." It's like they won't make it 8 episodes. I'm like, 8? What are you talking about? That's 2 months, dude. He's like, you watch. They're going to do it every week for the first month, and then they're going to miss a week, and then they're going to miss 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden it's going to be like, 3 months later, oh, yeah, we're back at it, and they'll knock out 1 or 2, and then it's like, okay, they'll get 10 episodes.
It's fun in
done.
theory. You're hanging out with your friends, and you're like, hey, we should do a podcast.
Yeah. The more people involved, the less likely.
The more people involved, that's destination for doom.
Yeah, if it doesn't morph into one person like mine did, we started out with 5 people.
Yeah.
That's right. I do remember that because you had it was you and then golly, I'm trying to remember. I know you had Catherine.
Well, that was on Liquid Lunch.
That's Liquid Lunch.
Oh, that is Liquid Lunch.
But that's kind of the same thing. You look at her story. You look at like it was her and Brandy for She's Crafty.
Yep.
And then it became just Catherine, and she had another co-host, and then it was just and then she's like, all right, I don't want to do that. I'm doing Liquid Lunch, and of course you're having it's life. Yeah. Life just happens, and that's just part of it. But like with InterBrews, there was 5 of us. and we all had different schedules and stuff. It's like now I look at it, I'm like, that is the silliest thing. We got together one time, all the 5 of us in one room to record the very first time back in like 2011. And I still have snippets of that podcast somewhere.
Wow. I mean, it's just like a band, you know, like you get band together, but
even then you can rehearse your own stuff.
Sure.
Like the bass player can be able to.
Normally with a podcast is that you have one guy that owns all the equipment.
Mm-hmm.
You have the person that you do the show at their place, and then you have the person who, you know, books the guest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's just
too many moving parts.
Too many moving parts.
Yeah, you got to have. That's the thing. Like I do mine at a time. It for whatever reason, everything kind of comes together. So I do mine at a time when the breweries aren't so busy. Like they can take a Tuesday at 10 a.m.
Sure.
You know, it's not Saturday at 3 p.m.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't.
You're not doing it in the middle of our anniversary party.
Right. So I'm able to do it at an off time. I'm flexible enough with my schedule, and I'm willing to go. I'm willing to drive an hour to, or hour and a half to Galveston. I'm willing to drive up to College Station. I'll go wherever. I've been talking to Ryan out at Huff. We're trying to set something up.
You did like a road trip a while back. I remember.
I went to Austin once. And
didn't you hit like 4 or 5 different breweries on that road trip?
Yeah, it was 6 in 2 days, or 6
cool.
in 3 days, or something. It was a whirlwind.
Yeah, it's cool.
And I don't particularly enjoy doing multiple episodes in a 3 episodes in a day is a bit much.
I won't do it. I won't do it.
I know you won't. See me, if we had to, and I mean this and all, I do love doing this. This is way too much fun.
You have to pace yourself though.
But I would get up if we had to just bang out some episodes for whatever reason. I don't care what the show is. I don't care. If we started at 8:00 in the morning, we went till 5, and we had to do 6 shows. I'm in.
Yeah.
Let's go.
You're gonna be.
You'll be dead.
I don't
Dead,
care.
yeah.
Don't care. Love it. I now maybe I'd hate it afterward.
Are you talking about like radio,
Sure.
segmented stuff?
I remember I did
I
did a telethon years and years ago, my early days of radio, and God, we were on the air for like 7 hours. Like, no, I was like a zombie.
It's a mental drain. You really do like to keep a conversation, and then to not, especially if you're going 3 episodes in, and like I don't want to. You keep saying that, like you find yourself talking about the same thing again. Mm-hmm. There's a few podcasts I love, like Joe Rogan.
Yeah,
I'll listen to some of his shows.
I like Rogan's show. Yeah,
I don't listen to every episode, but if you listen to enough, he goes 3 hours plus, and he'll do that. He'll do like 2 or 3 shows in a day sometime.
That's crazy.
But you hear him get back, like in that same episode, they'll kind of cycle back around and start talking about the same thing again. And so it's like, okay,
yeah. So Luno and Hinch were fired.
We've actually heard that. I'm not going to say what it was, but because we don't throw anybody under the bus.
No, I don't do that.
But we were listening to a podcast, and there was somebody who got asked a question, and the brewer responded, gave the answer, and it was almost like the host wasn't listening.
Yeah.
Because they turned around and asked the exact same question right after they gave the answer, and it was one of those.
Just
answer that.
Yeah,
It's like it was awkward.
Yeah, it's I've been there before. Like when you're like, what were sometimes you zone out a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Just even if it's just for a moment.
Yeah, and it can happen.
Yeah. It happens less when you're on with people that you really enjoy being with.
Right.
Like when you're having a good time and you're engaged, like, right, we're all engaged. We're,
Sure.
Sometimes the first episode at a new brewery typically is, there's a laundry list of questions to get through. And they're all interesting things, and they're all things I always want to know. Mm-hmm. But it's, okay, cool. We need that, like, for the record.
Sure.
Because I want, when I think of InterBrews, I think this is a audio time capsule.
Sure.
People can go back in 100 years from now and what was the industry like?
Like, how cool would that be if you got to interview Brock, 25 years ago?
Yeah.
And then he can come back and go, I'm going to go back and listen to that show I did with Josh 25 years ago.
That would be cool.
So think about the breweries that you're interviewing now that will do that.
Yeah.
10 to 15 years.
Go back 25 years from now and listen to this podcast and realize Chad didn't say Houston sucks like James thinks I said.
When Houston
CBB.
hosts the Olympics.
Yeah. When we host the Olympics, that's when I move. That's officially when I move. I'm out of here, man. I am not sticking around for that. That'll be just nuts.
Right. Well, I've got about 5 minutes. Actually, less than that. I'm going to leave my stuff here.
Do we get to hear Bowling for Soup?
That's a different show.
I know. I just keep bringing it up.
I'll send you the link. You can download it because I've stolen that music.
Sure, you can just go to YouTube and find that song.
Yeah.
You like that?
Can I? Yeah, I do. I was gonna say, if you want, I'll bring it up. I can play it in mine. Just
Nice.
we got 320, right? It's 320 or 321.
That's it. Yeah, about.
Yeah. James listens to every episode of InterBrews.
I listen to.
I catch a few of them, but I listen to Liquid Lunch.
I'm going to put this out there. If you do a craft beer show in Houston, I listen to it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So if you're like, oh, I wonder if Josh Stewart listens to my show. Maybe, maybe not. I wonder if James Simpson listens to it. Yes, I do.
I will say Houston,
I do.
The way we're laid out is probably one of the... I would love to see stats on what cities listen to podcasts the most. Mm-hmm. We have enough drive time, 30 minutes, hour, so there and back for an hour-long show if you're going to work or whatever. I bet you we're one of the top podcast consuming areas.
I'm a junkie.
Yeah.
I'm a junkie too when it comes to it.
Since we only got a couple minutes left, and I know this is your show and you're asking the questions here, but I want to know. Be bold here, man.
It's the People's Show.
Yeah, what? You're running for office, aren't you? All right, tell me. Hey, make a prediction, either for 2020 or for the next 10 years, like some of these morons are doing. Mm-hmm. And yes, you're a moron if you're making predictions for 10 years.
I can do that then.
Yeah, beer prediction. Go
for the next 10 years.
So let's start with 2020. What's going to happen? Go.
2020, resurgent and classic Belgian style.
Ooh, Belgian.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna say more. I think 2019 was...
I would like to see that.
Is that a hope or is that a prediction?
That's a prediction.
I would like to see that.
Belgian styles are coming back. If you don't believe it, you heard it here first. And when it happens, you can say, that's why I need to be a Patriarch sponsor.
Yeah, I said yes.
Patreon. What's it?
Patron.
That's what I said. Patron sponsor.
Yeah.
$1 a day.
I said 19 was the year of the craft Mexican lager. I was spot on, sort of. If depending on where you look at it, I could make the argument.
Hey, listen,
there's
it's not being cocky whenever you're capable.
Yeah. For a 10-year, another 2020 prediction. Let's see. I'm going to say we get 4 new breweries open in the greater Houston area.
Well, that's kind of easy.
That's,
because
come on, dude.
That's an easy one, though.
Dude.
And we're going to get 1.5 closings. I don't know.
No,
Okay.
I'm predicting. Definitely. I think we're gonna have as many open as close in Houston.
Oh,
That's a bold statement.
That is a bold statement.
But and here's the thing. It's just in being out in the market and talking to people. Yeah. You're finding out who's struggling and who's not, and it's crazy when you hear who's struggling, and I'm like, wow, man. And of course, we're not going there.
Yeah, well,
no, I'll leave that out. But I think you're going to have as many open as close here in the Houston market.
Well, I hope you're wrong.
I hope I'm wrong too. Are you kidding me?
And who are the Texans now, and who will be the Texans after first quarter? Texans. You never know what could happen.
2020 first quarter champs, the Houston Texans. All right, and then you got a 10-year prediction?
10-year prediction. Breweries in 10 years will be able to distribute directly to your house. They'll be able to deliver directly to your house.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Via drone.
Like a delivery, a delivery service?
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I think so. Or through Amazon or something like that.
Or through the internet. It's just like the beer will just show up like the 3D printer.
I think Amazon's going to turn the whole distribution game on its head. I think any of these distributors now that think they've got a lock on things, I think Amazon's going to come in and just wreck their shop and just be like, we got stacks of money more than you could ever imagine, and we've got drones and robots and, an Android, 17 Android versions of Jeff Bezos, and we'll come in and shoot you with lasers.
Well, I did make a prediction for 2020. I didn't make it on our show. I didn't make it here, but I'm going to make it now. Just share it. Fruit smoothie beer. Somebody's going to enter it at the Great American Beer Festival.
I think it'll be a category.
Well, do you think it'll be a category this year?
Not this year,
right?
No.
And of course, in the next 10 years, easily. I would totally agree. But I think somebody's going to actually enter it this year. Josh is looking at us. He's like, man, these guys, they're cutting into my time.
No, they're not cutting into my time.
I appreciate it, Josh. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
This has been a blast. I wish we
fun.
had another hour. If y'all want to hang around until I drop the girls off at gymnastics,
I can hang around.
I got nothing to do.
I don't know how long it'll take. How long?
I can hang around.
How long?
How long do you need, dude?
I don't know. What if it was 4 o'clock before I got back?
Okay.
What if it was 5 o'clock?
Nah, 5 o'clock. I'll be gone by then.
Yeah.
I can do 4.
I can do 4. I'll probably do 4.
But if I'm back at 4,
Yeah.
and
Because
then-
he can leave here at 5.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll do some bonus stuff.
Maybe there'll be a little extra, maybe not.
We'll
Maybe
see.
not.
That's called a tease.
That's a big time tease.
All right. Well,
And
then
if not, then we'll be back on InterBrews in 2022.
we should. Well, let's make sure we do it again. This is too easy.
Yeah.
This is.
But you got 52 breweries to interview, so you don't have time for us.
They don't have to be breweries.
Hey,
it's
and by the way,
if 7 of them are y'all, it's
you
that's
know,
still get my
yeah, but that doesn't count. Just because you get 2 of us, that doesn't count as 2. So if you do it 7 times, that's not 14.
No, it's separate episodes.
All right.
Coming back, this would just be bonus.
All right. Hey, can I? Since you're signing
What-
off,
yeah.
I just want to do this. This is InterBrews.
You sound so sad,
I know. Why are you so sad?
Have you?
like a dirge.
Am I?
I've heard
am
your
I-
outro. It doesn't sound anything like
It doesn't
that.
sound like
It sounds like exactly like the intro.
Yeah.
Because it's the same. Anyway, all right.
I thought it sounded like that. I thought it was the
All right. Well, everybody listen to What's on Tap Radio, wherever you would like
and
to listen.
Liquid Lunch.
And
Yeah,
Liquid
can we
Lunch
plug
and
it?
Interbrews. Yes,
Can we
please.
plug it?
Yes.
Absolutely,
Chad?
of course.
What's on Tap Radio? We're on Sundays 3 to 5 here in Houston on KPRC 950 AM and anywhere in the world on iHeartRadio and on the iHeartRadio app. And we have our own Spreaker channel. That's Speaker with an R, iTunes. And rumor is if you're down at the Galveston Seawall, there's a guy in El Camino selling boxes of dub tapes, and you can go ahead and pick it up there. But yes, What's on Tap Radio, What's on Tap Radio, What's on Tap Radio. Make sure you throw the radio on there, 950 KPRC, James and Chad, Sundays 3 to 5.
Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
And also in Keokuk, Iowa, we're syndicated now. Yeah,
That's badass.
I know. Keokuk, Iowa, you can listen to us on 1310 KOKX.
Your hometown radio station.
There you go.
All right. Well, for the syndicated James Simpson and Chad Pilbeam, my name is Josh. This is InterBrews.
This is InterBrews.
Wait for it.
The preceding has been a presentation of Stewed Productions.
You didn't sound anything like that, Chad.